We have gotten more information regarding college basketball video games, but this time instead of talking about EA college basketball, we're going to talk about 2K college basketball. And before I get into it, some of y'all may be wondering when I'm going to upload videos about College Football 26. I've been streaming the game and I'm going to have probably my first video next week. Like I said, I'm going to try to have a weekly video. And once there are major updates, I'll also make videos about those. But with that being said, let's get into the video. So we know from Matt Brown and the Extra Points newsletter that the CLC, the Collegiate Licensing Company, sent out a request for a proposal to different companies to see if they were interested in making a college basketball video game. And it sounds like they received 3 proposals back, one being EA, who obviously announced that they are bringing back college basketball video games. And then most people assumed one of the other ones was also 2K, and we got that confirmed today. And this is once again coming from Matt Brown in the Extra Points newsletter, and the person that actually wrote this newsletter is Joanne Neeson, I don't know exactly how to say her last name, but Matt Brown's on vacation, so his assignment editor actually wrote the newsletter. And in this newsletter, they confirmed that 2K was one of the 3 companies to make a formal bid for the proposal to bring back college basketball video games. And 2K already kind of hinted at this when they tweeted, "The campus has been quiet for too long." They tweeted this the same day that EA announced they were bringing back college basketball video games. But we didn't know exactly what that meant, but now we have some more details. So in the newsletter, Joanne wrote this: 2K's proposal was for a non-exclusive model for a limited number of D1 basketball teams that would be a 5v5 tournament gameplay format integrated into its NBA 2K game. 2K promised to assess the viability of a standalone game as early as 2030, assuming the initial release met certain milestones. It also proposed a limited number of teams, 16 total from the men's and women's game in year 1, 32 in year 2, and 68 in year 3. So 2K's proposal was literally just a DLC add-on to NBA 2K, meaning you would have to have NBA 2K, you'd have to buy that video game to then buy an additional DLC add-on for the college basketball gameplay. And it was going to be a 5v5 tournament, so I guess kind of like March Madness, and 5v5 meaning regular basketball as opposed to like a 3v3 park style. And it says it was only going to have 16 total teams in year 1. I don't know if it meant 16 from the men and 16 from the women's, or just 16 total, so like maybe 12 men, 4 women, something like that. But either way, only 16 teams or 32 teams if it's 16 from both. And then based on the numbers, how well the DLC sold, they would then potentially create a standalone game as early as 2030, which is obviously still 5 years away. Here are a couple more highlights and the difference between 2K and EA's proposal. So it says 2K would expand to 130 teams maximum in the next 5 years if it made a standalone game, whereas EA would include all 364 men's and women's teams. 2K would feature at least 160 players in year 1, at least 240 in year 2, and at least 420 in year 3. EA would feature any D1 player who opts in, potentially more than 8,700. And lastly, 2K offered a royalty rate of 2%, whereas EA offered 2.5%. And we know the CLC already recommends the EA proposal more so than the 2K one, which makes sense. It's basically better in every single way. It's a standalone game, it's more teams, it's more players, and it's a higher royalty rate. So it was kind of a no-brainer for the CLC. So the question is, what happens next? This is honestly great for a consumer, 2K and EA competing to create a college basketball game, because if they try to outdo each other, then hopefully a better product will be created for the consumer. But with the current proposals, obviously EA's is way better than 2K's. What's up, guys? If you want to support me as a creator, then definitely check out Varsity Grips. I'll put the link in the description, and if you use code Tubby, you get 10% off at checkout. Varsity Grips has officially licensed collegiate gear that allows you to rep your team while you are gaming. The controller grips give you lockdown control, anti-slip performance, and stamina for every match. As you can see on your screen, they have schools like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, LSU, and so many more. In addition to the Varsity Grips, they also have accessories and Varsity Wraps to put on your console. Use code Tubby for 10% off on your order at varsitygrips.com. Now, I will say from a business perspective, it's possible that 2K is being way more smart about this than EA. College football and college basketball are 2 different sports. It's possible that college basketball will have a ton of momentum because of college football's success, but maybe college basketball will flop like it did, 10 plus years ago. I hope it doesn't, and I don't think it will. But if it did, EA is going to look kind of dumb if they spent, millions of dollars creating this game and then, they don't make their money back. But from the consumer perspective, obviously EA's game is going to be way better. It's a standalone game. I don't have to buy, the NBA game. It's going to be all the teams, all the players. There's no reason I would buy the 2K DLC. So it doesn't sound like anything is set in stone yet. EA does not have exclusive rights. It doesn't actually have the rights to any of the schools yet. I don't think the CLC has simply recommended its proposal to the schools. And then once this happened, it sounds like 2K went and contacted the schools directly and basically said, hey, don't approve that proposal yet. Listen to ours. But it's possible that 2K changed their proposal to the schools. Maybe they just completely backtracked and said, hey, we're just going to create a standalone game once they heard that EA was doing that. And it's weird that they would tweet, the campus has been quiet for too long, if they don't actually plan on doing anything. So obviously they're going to do something. We just have to wait and see what it's going to be. The newsletter ends with this. It is unclear if EA's licensing proposal would prevent 2K from launching a competing product purely as a downloadable content within 2K. So it's possible that even if EA got the exclusive simulation rights, 2K could still create the DLC within NBA 2K if it's technically categorized as something different. I obviously don't know exactly how all of that works, but it's possible that not only will we see an EA standalone game, we will also see a 2K DLC. But what I hope actually happens is that both just create a standalone game and they're competing against each other, and the consumer gets to pick which game is better, because then the two companies are going to try to outdo each other. And like I said, that's way better for the consumers. It will lead to a better product. And we don't even know who the third company is that submitted a proposal, so who knows? Maybe a third company will just release a game as well. I'm excited for college basketball because obviously I just want the game back for one, but for two, I think this game might be different than a lot of the games we see now, such as college football or, Madden or NBA 2K, because I think we might actually get competition. And on top of that, I think we might see a different model where it's not a yearly release. Maybe they even do like a cheaper game and then there's some sort of ads or, extra things you can buy in the game, kind of like, the season passes and stuff on free-to-play games. I'm just really hoping that college basketball opens the door for new models in this sports video game world where it's not just, the monopolies we see today where the same company makes the same game every single year. So we will see. I will keep y'all updated on college basketball video games returning. Like I said, I should have some college football content out soon. Definitely tune into the streams when you see that I'm streaming. Subscribe if you're enjoying the content and follow me on all socials at TubbyCFB.